Choosing a computer is pretty straightforward. You either go for a desktop PC with your preferred peripherals, a laptop for portability, or an all-in-one desktop for keeping your work desk simple. But what if you're presented with just a keyboard? I mean, this is the HP Eliteboard G1a we are talking about. Under the hood, it is a computer that runs full-blown Windows 11 once you connect to a screen through one of its USB-C ports. While this form factor is really interesting and innovative, does it make any sense for it to exist? And what kind of use case does it apply to? Here's my thoughts after using this for a week. The Eliteboard G1a is a really nice hardware as a regular keyboard. The keycaps are decent size and shape with high quality scissor switches that gives it a very comfortable typing experience. I also love the backlighting that illuminates the keys well in low light. The function keys are also particularly functional, and I love that there is a programmable key that you can set to run multiple actions in 3 different configurations. A fingerprint reader is built into the power button for biometric logins, which is really great and convenient. And I'm glad that HP has made it spill resistant as well. HP has bundled the Eliteboard G1a with a wireless mouse that feels very ergonomic and premium. It has surprisingly good tracking precision and isn't some corporate e-waste that you don't want to use. There's also a really nice fabric sleeve to store the Eliteboard G1a, and it has 2 pockets to store the mouse and the bundled 65-watt USB PD charger. Overall, the packaging of this computer is very well thought out and something that I wouldn't find it troublesome to carry around. And this is exactly the statement that HP wants to make with this device. The Eliteboard G1a isn't a computer that regular consumers will buy, but in modern workspaces, you could be a hot desk worker that frequently switches between desks, and a desktop computer just doesn't make sense to transport around. A laptop might seem more practical in this case, but you are going to be limited to your laptop screen estate, a cramped keyboard, and unreliable trackpad, which sometimes isn't too productive. The Eliteboard G1a lets you plug into any monitor with just a single USB-C cable, and since my review unit has a built-in battery, it powers up any portable monitors, so I don't need to make a mess at my workplace. Furthermore, I'm impressed that the Eliteboard G1a came with really decent built-in stereo speakers and is Poly certified for conference calls. Yes, it does come with a mic.
Starting from 104,000 ringgit, the Toyota Vios HEV faces tough competition within its price segment, as you can potentially get...
My Eliteboard G1a review unit is powered by an AMD Ryzen AI5 Pro CPU paired to 16 gigs of DDR5 SODIMM RAM and 512 gigs of storage. The latter two can fortunately be upgraded later if you intend to wait for prices to come down, because they're just super expensive right now. I'm just glad that HP gave it 16 gigs out of the box instead of 8 gigs so that it is sufficient for multitasking in the workspace. Performance is adequate for office productivity, and it wouldn't have issues crunching heavy Excel spreadsheets and handling multiple Chrome tabs. The Radeon 840MI GPU is sufficient for basic 4K video workflows, but don't expect it to be a champ to handle multiple video tracks. I tried a bit of gaming on this, and suffice to say, it isn't great on low settings when gaming on 1080p. So bosses don't need to worry about staffs gaming on this, but jokes aside, it is really commendable of HP to pack such decent computing power into a keyboard form factor that is so sleek and lightweight to carry around. And in most cases, the Eliteboard G1a is a silent performer despite having active coding. Personally, I can see how this device will appeal to some business users, and I love the versatility of this device as opposed to a laptop. But there are a few things that makes it a difficult recommendation. The lack of ports is the main thing that I believe some users will find it concerning, as many businesses can still use legacy USB-A devices that will require a dongle, such as a printer or like a webcam and some other stuff. And I find it odd for HP not to include a USB-A port or a micro SD reader, as there's still sufficient space around the device. But the lack of ports is probably one way that HP would want to sell more Thunderbolt docks to businesses, which probably makes them more money. But yeah, I do see how it makes sense right there, because this is just a device really to reduce clutter at your workspace, and yeah, a Thunderbolt dock does make a lot of sense. The Eliteboard isn't a low-budget computing device as it retails from 5,700 ringgit according to HP's website, which you could already land yourself with a decent HP business laptop that offers better usability for mobile workers, such as the HP ProBook 4, which is priced just slightly more but comes with a more capable Core Ultra 7 processor. Hence, it is really difficult to see reason from an IT manager's perspective to invest in the Eliteboard G1a, even if hot desking is a thing and the intention of this form factor. Ultimately, the HP Eliteboard G1a is a niche computing product and isn't made for everyone. While I absolutely love the idea of a PC running directly from a computer keyboard while being able to transport around between different monitors in the workspace, the selling price and some limitations of this device is going to hold some people back, as getting a regular laptop or an all-in-one computer could make more sense. But nonetheless, this is a really interesting form factor that I would love to see continued development, as it has huge potential for running AI agents as compared to a desktop PC or laptop because it is so low powered. And if HP could just price this cheaper, even I, as a non-corporate user, would be interested in getting one for my computing needs. So yeah, that's all for my thoughts on the HP Eliteboard G1a after using for a week as my daily driver. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos coming right up, and I'll see you in the next one.